With me when I talk about how I've been cheated on in every single freaking relationship I've ever been in. Trust me, when it comes to trust issues, I know ball. I know ball. First ever relationship, I knew him since like kindergarten, and we were dating, and he got with my best friend of 12 years. 12 years. Yeah. How I found this out was me and that best friend were on the way to the movie theater, and she leans over and shows me a snap that he just sent her, and it was something like, I have been thinking a lot about you, and like something and like that. So after that, I continued to talk to both of them. She knew that we were like dating, and he knew that she was my best friend. Either way, you don't do that in a relationship. But yeah, I continued to talk to both of them, and then it was just hell for me. Yeah, we're not gonna get into that. That was just dumb. My second, we weren't officially dating, but he left me for my sister. We don't talk about that one because me and my sister laugh at that now because holy shit. My third relationship was with his girl best friend. I found a picture one day of them in bed together cuddling, and I had her on Snapchat. Actually, she added me because she wanted to fight me over it. Don't know why. She texted me and she was like, "That's why you got played like a board game, bitch." Whoa, we're throwing strays now. You know what? That's fine because she wasn't wrong. Wasn't wrong. I'm not gonna lie, y'all may call me crazy for this, but she's like the sweetest person now. I low-key love her. That was in the past. That's the thing about me, is you'll never catch me beefing with girls for like no reason. Like back then it was a problem because she knew, and then she proceeds to say that, but now I don't really give a shit. We're actually friends. Also, I'm not about to start tripping over something that happened like years ago. Like people can change, and we were young back then. So my fourth relationship, I went on vacation and he said he needed a break, and me personally, he wanted like a long-term break, kind of a break where he could go and do what he wants. So in my head, that's a breakup. I know people like stand different on it, but me personally, I think that's a breakup. If he just needs space, that's a different story. But yeah, he told me he wanted a break, so I was like, okay, that means like we're broken up, like, because I'm not doing that shit where we're on a break and then you go out with other girls and then it becomes a problem because like, what are we? So he said, like, he low-key agreed on it. My vacation was ruined. Oh my god, I was like damn near almost throwing up in the toilet, screaming and crying. My family was like, what the fuck is this bitch on? Okay, that's besides the point. So on that trip, we were at the beach and I got a guy's Snapchat. Actually, I made my brother go get it. And I don't even know how he figured out, but he found out somehow. And okay, wait, this has nothing to do with this story. I'm so sorry. Anyways, I got back from like the trip and we got back together, and I saw that he has been calling this girl, I think her name was Kendall. Claimed that that was not cheating, but what I did was cheating, even though we were not together. And I get it. It was the day after we broke up, boo fucking who. But I'm on vacation. I'm not about to sit here be sad over a guy who treated me like shit and asked for a break, okay? Like, I'm allowed to ask guys for Snapchats. I'm gonna be honest, he ended up being really fucking weird. Really fucking weird. Oh, he also cheated on me with my best friend. Sorry, I forgot about that one. In my bed. Yeah, this man cheated on me multiple times, actually. But those are like the two main times that I actually remember. And then that's also the man that I was recently with that had another girlfriend our whole relationship. So that's actually 3 times that I can remember as of right now. My 5th relationship, I think. I don't remember. Some people are 50-50 with this one. Some people say it's not cheating, but then some people look at me and be like, bitch, that is fucking cheating. So I don't know. He decided to get high with his friends, and when they were high, this random number kept calling them, and apparently it was some girls like talking to them, and he was like moaning their names. Okay, that sounds really weird. But that's what happened, and some people say it's not because, like, it was just a joke, but y'all can call it what y'all want to call it. I kind of just thought it was, like, unloyal, but then some people I talked to, they were like, girl, that's more than unloyal. that's cheating. So I don't know, it depends on your stand on it and like how you like your boundaries, I guess. My 6th relationship, he just basically called every single girl his girl cousin, or she's like a sister. Yeah, I got that card pulled many times. And he hugged his ex on the last day of school. Now, that sounds like relationship kindergarten shit, but it's just a respect thing. He claimed that he was saying bye to her, but me personally, I find that really weird. I think it's 7th, but it leads back to the one that like just recently cheated on me. The one where I have like a video of them in bed together and saying all that corny ass shit. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much all, at least from what I can remember. But all I'm freaking saying right now is that I never did anything back to these shitty ass men. And low-key, I'm happy I didn't, because being the bigger person and just letting it go instead is so much better. And I will never, ever be a cheater, because you guys do not understand the feeling of finding out. Actually, many girls probably do, because a lot of men cheat. But that is a feeling that me personally, I would never want to make someone else feel. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for listening to all the fucking ways and times I've been cheated on. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you guys. Bye.
Okay. Here is how I found out that my husband of 4 years was cheating on me. And if you know me in real life, no, you don't. No, you don't. Please don't bring this up, or do. I don't care. This is my forewarning. This is embarrassing. This is just embarrassing. So, for background knowledge, I lived in our house in Summerville, South Carolina, and he traveled for work. And we had just bought this house about a year before when he got moved to Washington, okay? And I will be totally honest and admit that for a while, things got really strained. He would complain that I didn't have enough time for him, that I wasn't talking to him. He wasn't very happy that he had to travel so much for work and that he was being permanently moved. He wanted me to quit school. I had just gotten into nursing school, and he wanted me to move with him. And I stood my ground, and I was like, no, I want to finish school. I've been working so hard to do this. Let me just do the damn thing. And it worked out for a bit, but then he started complaining that I didn't have enough time for him, that my free time, I wouldn't call him as much. And mind you, I'm in full throttle accelerated nursing school, and it's really hard and it's stressful. But how did I find out? That's the crazy part. Around February, my sister comes to visit me because we're having a Galentine's Day, okay? And she's staying with me. It's just gonna be a week, when all of a sudden the fridge breaks. Now, the crazy thing is, this was like a brand new house. It was no more than 2.5 years old. Everything was new. All the appliances were new. Like, there was no reason for the fridge to break, but it does. And I'm like, okay. So I look for all of the paperwork that has to do with our house and the appliances, because it's a brand new house, and I keep everything in a folder. I can't find it. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just check his email for the warranty, because at Lowe's, if you buy something, it's in the warranty and you can pull it up in your email. And we've been married for 4 years at this time. We've been together for almost 7. So it's not crazy for me to have access to his email. And I'd never gone through his email. But there I am under his email, and I start, I'm typing in like Lowe's. I kid you not. One of the first things I see is, congratulations on upgrading your account to premium or whatever on Bumble or Tinder. It was one or the other. And then I see another notification on his email that's like, you have been super liked, or you have matched, or it was crazy, okay? And then I finally see another email that's like, welcome to Hinge Premium or whatever. So I'm like, what the hell? It gets worse, okay? I also see that I start scrolling because I'm like, this is crazy. Like, these are fresh. This is from about a few weeks. These are a few weeks old. I start seeing also that he's been messaging with this girl on LinkedIn, and the girl was someone that I knew when we lived in Nebraska. And I look at the messages, and he's basically bragging about how he and I are separated, how I was a terrible wife, how he is just making some really great connections out in Washington. And he also tells her about how much money he's making, and he kind of hints that he's like sugar daddy level money now. And so embarrassing, so embarrassing. And mind you, this girl is somebody that we were friends with. Like, it was one of those, like, oh, like, this is our friend. So now I'm like, what else is he hiding? Like, what else is going on? So I start looking more under his email, and I'm seeing purchases from like Target, Walmart, Amazon, and this is so embarrassing. I see that he's been buying, okay, TMI. I have a king-sized California bed, okay? I see in his purchase that there is a queen-sized bed, like straps, like the straps that you can like tie yourself to. And I see that he's bought some a few weeks ago. And I'm like, those can't be for me. Like, they don't fit my bed. Like, who are they for? Who are they for? And I'm seeing that like there's been purchases from like Target for toys and children's clothes. I realize that he has been seeing a woman who is a single mom, and he is like full on dating her, and he's full on wooing her and her kids. And I mean, he is looking up museum dates because this girl likes bugs. He was going above and beyond. I'm full on like freaking out, and I realize I see some Venmo transactions. And I see one of the Venmo transactions was to a friend of mine, okay? I had thought this girl was one of my closest friends, okay? I see Venmo transactions to her. It wasn't much. It was like twice, maybe. And I'm like, why is he Venmoing this girl? And why wouldn't she have told me about it? And why wouldn't he have told me about it? And if anyone should be Venmoing her, it should be me. Like, if you need something, come to me. So, a lot of things aren't making sense. I don't know why. I had been telling her, and this is something I have learned. I will never do this again. But I had been telling her for the past month and a half. I'd been telling her how our marriage was in trouble, and I'd been telling her, like, hey, we're having issues. I'm stressed. I'm scared. And she had been like, oh my gosh, well, you're both good people. I hope that this works out. I hope you two can get things fixed. I mean, it was, okay. I don't know why I did this, but I call her and I play dumb. And I'm just like, hey, did you get the money that we sent? And she's like, yeah, I really appreciate it. I had no proof of anything, but something in my women's intuition that day made me go, hey, I know. Is there something going on between the two of you? You might as well tell me, because I know. Again, I don't know what made me say that. I don't know why I said that. I had no proof of anything. I just knew that something didn't feel right. But she tells me that they have been flirting, that they have been talking about me behind my back, and in the way of sharing that he's going on dates, that he is seeing other people. They had made plans to possibly fly her out. She lived in Nebraska. Fly her out to him. They ended up not doing it because they both respected me. She admitted that they had been flirting, that there was interest on both sides, and that if I asked her, that of course she would tell me, because I had been such a great friend to her, but she would never disrespect me. It's a whole crazy story, but that the moment the fridge breaks out of nowhere, that brand new fridge breaks, it honestly, it changed the trajectory of my life just a little bit. and never would have expected this from him. And anyone that has ever met him in like real life that knows who my ex-husband is never would have expected that from him. I didn't expect it from him. I don't know. I really didn't. So, mind you, I'm still in the middle of nursing school, but after this happens, I find out, she calls him and tells him. He turns off the internet. He tries to get to not like pay the utilities, so like the electricity gets cut off, so I can't do my schoolwork. He ends up flying down and threatens to like kick me out of our house and to sell the house and to throw me out on my own. Thank God for my sister. She ends up taking me with her to Mexico, and that just started a whole nother story. That was a whole nother story. But that is how I found out my husband was cheating on me. Now we've been divorced for about a year. I live in a different part of town, but I see him every now and then. It hasn't been months now, but I see him on the Are We Dating the Same Guy page. Maybe like once or twice I've seen him. And the comments always get me because they're always crazy. And I'm like, yep, that's him. I mean, at one point, I found out from the comments that he was telling someone that the reason he was divorced was because he was traveling for work and he had a video on the Ring camera of me bringing some guy over and cheating on him, and that's why we were divorced. So, I mean, the story's just crazy. Crazy guy, but that's how I found out.
Every time a guy left me for another girl. So I know he's watching, so like, can you click off? Like, just for my own sake, just for my own sake. I saw him the first week of school and I thought he was really cute. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow him on Instagram, so then he followed me back. My intention was to be friends with him because I think he was talking to one of my friends, but they weren't like talking, they were just getting to know each other, so I didn't want to be like that. I DM'd him and was like, good music taste, because his like song on Instagram. I don't know guys. He started texting me from there, and then we met up at school, and then we started walking together. There was a football game, and he was like, you should come, and I was like, okay, I will. That's the first time like we actually hung out, and I was so scared. Like, I was telling my friends, I was like, I can't do it. Like, I cannot be near him. Terrible at like talking to people, so then eventually my friends forced me to go stand next to him. In my brain, I was like, what do I say? What do I say? By the end of the night, it was fine. It was all okay. I'm not gonna get into everything because I know he's watching this. We went on a couple dates, and then that's all I'm gonna say. We were planning another one, but obviously that never happened. We're like holding hands and like... So basically we're just acting like a couple at this point, and everyone thought like we were dating. I don't know, he's gonna ask me to hoko. Oh yeah, he was. I kind of forgot about that. So he's planning on asking me to hoko with the poster and stuff. We were doing the whole couple shenanigans, whatever, I don't know. So then this one day, he was acting really weird. Like, I saw him and I hugged him. I was like, hey, and he's like, hi. And then he was like, you should go to class, you're gonna be late. Which is weird because he never says that, I don't think. Like, you should go to class, it's late. And I was like, I don't know. I stayed a little longer, but then I left. Now that I realize it, like, I should have known. I think I did. I was walking with one of my friends to class because he usually waits for me at like a spot, but he wasn't there that time. So I walked with my friend. I was like, I don't know why he's not meeting at the spot. I kind of feel weird about it. Like, I feel something like not right. She was like, it's okay, like everything's fine. I was like, okay, you're right, everything's fine. And it was at the end of the day, and then he usually waits for me and we walk out. I was like, are you meeting at the spot today? And he was like, no, I have to go really fast. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like really nervous at this point because I was like, what is happening right now? Like, what is happening? I was like, what is going on? So then I texted him. I was like, how's your day? Really like concerned. I was like, what is happening right now? Like, what did I do? I was like, what did I do? Like, I was thinking, I was like, did I do anything? Like, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen you all day. And I was reading the messages the other day, the last time I like were whatever. And I was like, I low-key felt bad for myself because I was like, oh, I missed you. I didn't see you much today. And he was like, yeah, haha. And now I realize, like, oh, that's why. I was like on the call with my cousin, and I was like, he was acting weird today. I don't know what to do. They were like, it's okay, everything's fine. I was like, you're right, it's fine. You know what, I'm gonna try extra hard tomorrow to be better. I don't know what I meant by act better, like hold his hand more. I don't know, because I feel like I stopped holding his hand at one point because, like, I'm scared of intimacy. It's not like I didn't want to. It was just, like, I got really nervous. For me, like, it takes time for me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get over that fear and, like, hold his hand more, hug him more. And I was like, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And then I was on a call with, like, my cousin and her friends. And then he called me. He was like, do you want to text? I mean, do you want to call? And I was like, sure. And I was like, this is so embarrassing now that I think about it. Like, I was like, okay, guys, my boyfriend's calling me. Like, I think I jinxed that at that point. Because why? What the frick? I was so jolly. I was like, okay, guys, my boyfriend's calling. Bye. And they're like, okay. And I came back to that call. And they're like, oh, that was fast. And then I was, like, sobbing. It was terrible. So I low-key jinxed it for myself. So basically on the call, he said that it wasn't you, it was me. Like, knowing what I know now, like, you could have just told me the truth. I would have, like, it hurt, but, like, it would have hurt, but, like, telling me the truth would have been 10 times better than lying to me and then me finding out on my own and being devastated. Like, I was like, okay, whatever. And then I like, dropped it, but not really. And then that weekend, because it ended, like, on a weekday. Don't even talk about the next day of school. The next day at school was, like, the worst ever. Like, I don't even want to imagine that again. But that weekend, I texted him, and I was like, I sent him a long paragraph, and I regret that now, because now what I know now. So then on Monday rolls around, and then my friend was like, I need to tell you something. And I was like, what? Like, what? And they were like, you know, he's talking to another girl already. And I was like, what? Really in shock. And I was like, really? Who is she? And then no one would tell me who she was. And I was like, guys, just tell me who she is. And then they told me, and I was like, aren't we friends? I mean, we're not, like, close friends, but, like, we're still friends. I count her as my friend. Like, we literally, I'm dropping it, whatever. And I was, like, devastated. I would ask my friends, I would be like, is she prettier than me? Like, it was, like, I shouldn't have like, she's so pretty. Like, I love her still, and, like, I think she's so pretty, and, like, not like I'm not pretty, I guess, but, like, I just thought she's prettier, which I still agree with, but, like, so then I found out, like, they were walking together the day that he ended things, I think. I think that's what happened. And I was like, there's no way he would do this. Like, stop. I feel like I have more to say, but I don't know what I need to say, because I know I have more. But that's all I'm going to say now, guys. If you want more, I'll give you more. But bye, guys.
This is story time on the time that I was essayed by my homegirl. So I'm going to kind of get into the subject of everything that happened so I don't be wrapping y'all up too much. It all started, I had this homegirl. She was going through a lot. She was going through a breakup, boyfriend issues. She was going through a bunch of stuff like that. And I was somebody that she could confide in, like, call, talk to, vent to, hang out with, and it'd be nothing like that, nothing. So one day, she been going through it. She called me. She talking to me, like, for 4 hours. She on the verge of, like, unaliving herself. I feel like she's in the car. She's crying, not paying attention, swerving. So I check her location. I'm like, hey, either pull over and chill, or, like, you can meet me at my spot, because she always come over and she read her books and she be on her laptop and stuff like that, like, or something. Like, you're not gonna hurt yourself while you're on the phone. So she calmed down for a little bit, said give her a second, so she was on her way. Fast forward, she finally arrived. So when she arrived, she get there, she chilling and stuff, we talking and stuff like that. She's doing her vape, she's smoking her vape, she's chilling, she telling me about everything, she breaking down crying. I'm on one couch, she's on the other side of the couch. So we got distance between us, the TV playing low. I'm just really listening, I'm, like, trying to get an understanding. So it's to the point, like, I'm high off shrooms, she's talking. It give a brief second to where as though the conversation stopped. And I go to sleep. I know a lot of guys gonna be like, oh, you're weird, or that's some gay shit. But like, crazy thing is, while I'm asleep, I wake up. Only reason I wake up is because I feel somebody touching me and shit like that. I wake up to her giving me oral sex. So when I wake up, I come to, remind you, I'm high off the shrooms. So I'm thinking it's not real. I snap into reality. I'm like, oh, what you doing? I push her up off me. So she was like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Can I finish at least? I don't know, I'm just vulnerable. I thought you would have liked it. You so nice to me and stuff like that. You ain't never try to push up on me or come on to me. I'm like, nah, nah, nah. I'm beefing. I get the yelling going off like, what the fuck is you doing? Like, no, man, you weird ass. I almost called her. I said, you was a weirdo. Like, you don't do no stuff like that. I'm only freaking out basically because not too long ago she told me that the dude that she was dealing with burned her. So I'm like, this was like less than a month ago or a month ago. So it's like, damn, you got the nerve to like, I don't know, like, you feel me? So it's like, my heart racing, my heart racing, my heart racing. She trying to go. I go straight to the shower, hurry up, wash up, stuff like that. I'm sorry, banging on the door. And I'm like, this shit getting weird. So I'm like, I get out the shower and stuff like that. I look at my stuff, make sure I'm alright. That don't do nothing. I had to go to the doctor the next day. I'm telling her like, man, you gotta leave. She's like, no, I don't want to stay. I don't trust myself to be by myself and stuff like that. I'm like, I said, what made you just do some stuff like that? She's like, I'm just going through it and I feel like you deserve that for looking out for me. Like, bruh, one, I'm not easy. I don't just give it out. I don't just hand it out or nothing like that. Two, she know that. Three, it's like, bro, you was just having complications with your diaphragm, like your woman parts and stuff like that. So I put myself in the room. She on the couch still crying and stuff like that. She knock on the door. She's like, if it make you feel any better, I could put a condom on you and we could I could do something else. I'm like, bruh, I don't wanna hunt you. Like, so she just like really overly throwing herself. So I'm like, look, you could stay here. I'm about to exit. I'm about to go to another friend's house and stuff. I'm like, I'm just so thrown off. So I wound up leaving. I go to the doctor the next day. I get tested and stuff. A couple days go past. I don't get no call or nothing. So I know it's not everything's negative and stuff. If they call you, it's a problem. So that was cool on that behalf. I'm just really beefing. I'm keeping my distance and stuff like that. And then she started telling me like how she gonna, if she lose one of her only good friends, how she gonna unalive herself like that. And I'm like, I'm not trying to be mean and say do it, because if you're gonna do it, do it. Jump off the roof. I could tell you how to do it, but I'm trying not to be mean. So I really just like, I just stopped texting her and stuff like that, because like if you're gonna do it, do it. Like, don't, yeah. But long story short, I was real disgusted, real creeped out, man. That's not my MO. I'm not like a green dude or nothing like that. I'm a real wholesome young man. And I carry myself and hold myself to a certain stature. And she probably seeing this right now, and I'm not embarrassed. I'm not going to drop her name, but she know who she is. A lot of people probably know who she is and stuff, because I was around her and they know I was around her. So I'm going to just put it like that.
Story time about how I was almost... For a little context, I still do not know if this was intentional or not. Rewinding to my second grade year, I had super bad anxiety. Like, over the top, super bad. Which often resulted in me getting really nauseous and just really bad stomach aches all the time. At this time, my parents had just gotten a divorce a few years prior, and my dad was now remarried to this girl. We'll call her Sarah. And me and Sarah did not get along. She would constantly make me clean the house while her and my sister would watch, and she would like not let me have my phone when my dad was gone, so I wasn't able to contact my dad or my mom. Sarah was a stay-at-home mom who took care of me and my sister while my dad was at work, and she loved to shop. So we would go to this city that was like 30 minutes away from my house, and there were a lot of stores there, and we would go shopping. Well, she would go shopping. I would kind of just come with. And this one day, my sister and I were out with her shopping in the city. I had very bad anxiety. So of course, with that also came a really bad stomachache and a lot of nausea. I was really scared to tell Sarah that I was having really bad stomach aches, but it eventually got to the point where I was in the bathroom every single store we went into, and so I had to tell her. She then proceeded to drive us to Walgreens to pick me up some medicine. Since I was younger, the only medicine that I was really taking for my stomach aches at the time was Pepto-Bismol, because it was just what we always had on hand, but she came out with something else. She handed the bottle to me and told me to drink the entire thing. It was about this big, okay? Now, because I was young and I was only used to taking Pepto, I didn't really know what was right to take and what was wrong. I ended up getting through about half the bottle before we were finally done shopping, and by the time we were on our way home, my stomach hurt really bad, like 20 times worse than it did before. Terrible. At home, it was already pretty late, so I decided to like push it off and not tell anybody about it till the next morning, because I was scared that I was gonna get yelled at. Fast forward again to the next day, my stomach still hurt really bad when I woke up. So then I told my stepmom in hopes to try to get out of school that day, because I also did not like going to school. And she asked me if I finished my medicine from the day prior, which I said no to. She told me that I needed to finish the rest of the bottle before school and I would feel better. She told me that I am not allowed to bring the medicine to school. Weird. So naturally, as any disobedient child does, I put the medicine in my backpack and brought it to school because my stomach hurt. I was dead convinced that this medicine was going to fix my stomach ache. I think I made it through about an hour of school before asking a teacher to go to my locker to get my medicine. Instead of the teacher allowing me to get my medicine like I thought she would, she asked me, "What medicine?" Looking back now, I realized that it wasn't normal for a second grader to have a bottle of medicine in their locker. I did go get the medicine from my locker to show my teacher, which then I was met by a ticket to the nurse's office immediately, which was then followed by a lot of questions being asked and a phone call home to my actual mom. My mom ended up picking me up from school early that day and yelling at me in the car, asking me where I got this medicine from and why the teachers were blaming her trying to me. Teachers thought that I was talking about my real mom when I was actually talking about my stepmom, and that the school was threatening to press charges on my mother. Obviously, I was very scared because I knew this was going to get back to my stepmom after she had told me not to bring my medicine to school, which I suppose should have been a red flag from the beginning. The situation did eventually end up in a CPS visit where it got handled. I did later learn that the medicine that I was given was meant for adults, and they were only supposed to take about this much of it in a bottle this big. Anyways, guys, I'm still not sure if that was a setup or if she actually did not know that I was not supposed to take that medicine, but this is the final fit for my last Christmas this year. Or, well, my last Christmas, not this year. I hope you guys have a amazingly blessed day. And yeah, bye.
Get ready, but this time I'm going to tell you every single reason why I unfriended my ex-best friend. This girl was like my best friend for 2 years, and then out of nowhere I just kind of dropped her. At least that's what she thought. The first thing is she was super over-sexual. Like every time we'd be on FaceTime, she'd be naked. She was constantly talking about how she wanted to make out with me, wanted to have a three-way with me and my partner at the time, which would usually just be a funny little joke, except she was actually bisexual. That's when I was like, okay, I'm a little weirded out. I had this high school situationship I'd hooked up with one summer. She knew that me and him always had like a thing, but anytime that me and him weren't actively talking, she would be snapping him, constantly telling me how fine she thought he was, how she would do anything to hit that. Then finally, summer after I graduated high school, I actually hooked up with this situationship guy. I told my ex-best friend, And she was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna unadd him out of respect for you. A couple months go by. I end up starting to date a completely different guy. So I'm obviously not talking to situationship anymore. She doesn't say anything to me about situationship, but a couple months into me dating this other guy, the situationship randomly appears on her phone again. Like, I get it, we're not talking, but if you unadded him out of respect for me, isn't it direct disrespect for you to start talking to him again? Anyway, so I break up with the guy I was dating at the time, immediately go back to situationship because that's what situationships do. We talk for a little while, then I started talking to the guy who became my most recent ex-boyfriend. Me and this new guy weren't dating yet, we were just talking, and I had kind of dropped off the situationship. And I go with my ex-best friend to get her pierced. I wake up the next day to a text from her being like, don't be mad, I have to tell you something, but like promise you won't be mad. I was like, what is it, girl? She says, oh, well, I told situationship I got my pierced and he asked to see, so I sent him a picture. I'm like, okay, now we're sending nudies to guys that I've hooked up with that you know I'm still keeping the door open for? Okay. Mind you, this is the same girl who another girl in our kind of mutual friend circle tried to unfriend her one time. And this girl talked the most crap about the girl who unfriended her. And how she was like a spoiled bitch and how she hated her and she was a brat and fat and ugly. So at this point, with like all the combined things that she did, I kind of knew like, okay, this is not the type of person that I want to be friends with. I obviously can't just tell her, hey, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Because with the type of person she is, I knew she'd blow it up. It would become really awkward for all of our mutual friends. I would get my name thrown through the mud. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna let this fizzle out, grow apart, so that it can be as mature and easy as possible. Fast forward a couple months, I text her to invite her to my birthday party. She's like, oh, well, my birthday thing is in like 2 weeks. And I just hearted the message because I was like, does that mean she wants me to come? Like, I didn't get an invite. The next week, it's about to be like my birthday party, so I go to chat her on Snapchat to see if she's coming. Find out I'm blocked on Snapchat. I go to message her on Instagram. I'm blocked on Instagram. Then I go to text her. My number's blocked. So I decide, you know what? If we're being messy like that, like, let's be messy. I run into a girl that's one of our mutual friends from high school at a restaurant. She brings up the situation. She's like, oh yeah, what happened between you and so-and-so? And I'm like, you know what? Since I'm blocked, let me tell you the actual story. Told her every single thing this girl did to me, every single way she behaved. Of course, that girl went and told my ex-best friend what I was saying about her. So my ex-best friend texts me immediately. You fake ass bitch, keep my name out of your fucking mouth. I never did anything to you. You're running around spreading lies about me. Big long message of just her basically yelling in my face. Message back, I'm like, hey, it's really good to hear from you. I just want to start by saying, like, sending pictures of your to a guy that I hooked up with last summer is nudes. Flirting with my new boyfriend, saying that you like his muscles and you want to have a three-way with us is flirting. It's like, that's kind of non-negotiable, and I just don't want that in a friend. And considering what happened with our other mutual friend that you didn't talk to for a while, how you handled that and how messy it was, I didn't want that to happen between us. I just wanted to peacefully drift apart. Again, it was keep my name out of your mouth. Like, if that's how you felt, you should have said it to my face. I was like, girl, I don't think you understand the drama that would have ensued if I would have said it to your face. She probably would have came to my house and tried to physically fight me. I was like, trust, I'm doing what's best for all parties here. Again, I was like, I understand that you feel that way, but like, I just need to get that I don't appreciate that you've done this, and I've just decided that you're not the type of person I want to be friends with. Anyways, all of this to say, she got really drunk last weekend and called me 15 times. 15 times from her number, 4 times from an anonymous number, FaceTimed me 8 times, texted me paragraphs saying, I really miss you, like, I'm really sorry that you thought I did all those things. I'm really sorry that you feel that way about me, but like, I want to be your friend. I was like, babe, I don't want to be your friend. Not after the way you acted. Tell me if I'm in the wrong though. Love you, bye.
Story time about the worst date I have ever gone on in my entire life. Now, this happened a couple years ago, but I had posted a TikTok about it previously, so I thought, why not give the whole story? So this guy asked me to go get food. I was a sophomore and he was a junior, so I kind of was like, oh, older guy, you know. No. We were supposed to go on our date. He FaceTimed me and we were just like talking, getting to know each other, and that's when I noticed the red flags. For starters, he started talking about how many girls he had fucked in his car, and I was like, what? Because I'm sorry, this guy just did not like look like he could pull, if I'm going to be so honest. Like, I was talking to him because I thought he was this like nice guy. So immediately I'm like,
oh, like, that's a little weird, whatever. And then as I'm talking, he would look at me and just be like, oh my god, you have fuck me eyes. And I was like, what? Like, what? And then later in the call, he just like, you know what? I don't want to go out to eat anymore. I want to take you to the quarry. And I'm like, the fuck is the quarry? And he explained to me that it's like kind of place that it's like big, like water with like big like rocks like around it. It's like for like construction sites, I think. Like I'm to this day I'm still not entirely sure. And he then proceeded to tell me, he's like, you know, I could easily be up into pieces and throw you into the quarry and no one would ever find you. And I'm just like, what? Like, what are you saying? Your girl still went. Like, brain, where? I think I was just too afraid of being mean and being, like, canceling on him again because previously he had tried to hang out before and, like, I couldn't. So I felt like I guess I had to make it up to him in a way. So I felt like I was already in too deep. Which, let this be your sign that it's okay to say no and to cancel last minute for your safety. And it was after school, so, you know, I go to school. And I remember I went back to my friend's house, I packed my swimsuit, got my swimsuit on, and then all of a sudden we hear honking outside our house. Just like over and over and over again. And then I walk outside and I'm like, what? Like, I'm coming. And I will never forget the look on his face. The way he just like looked me up and down and just like was like looked at me like I was like a dog toy and he was the dog. Like, it was disgusting. Like, I just should have turned around, but I didn't. And he started driving. This man was an insane driver, like going like in the 25, going fucking like 65. Like, I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but he was just like curvy roads, like just fucking zooming. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm like moving like this, like in the car. So I'm like already terrified. I'm like, what the fuck did I just do to myself? And then we get to the quarry, which was the side of the road. So then he just goes off-road and pulls off to the side. I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, oh, we're at the quarry. I was like, what? What do you mean? Now, my dumbass is thinking, oh, this is like a public place. Like, everyone knows about this. No. So now I'm kind of like, oh my fucking god. Like, I was like kind of freaking outside. I'm like, oh my god. Like, I was like, are you sure? Like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, like, come on. I had to go under this like fence and then I'm like crawling and then I'm like there's like dirt all over me. I'm like, what am I doing? And then we're getting closer to the quarry, so he covers my eyes and now I'm freaking. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is this man doing? Like, he's gonna kill me. He is going to kill me. And he's like, oh, I just want this to be a surprise, whatever. So he like takes his hand off my eyes and he's like, look, aren't you impressed? And I was like, it's something, you know, like, I don't know. Like, it was, yes, don't get me wrong, it was really pretty, but inside I'm like, what the fuck? And then he's like, let's go sit this rock. So we walk over and we sit on this big rock. And immediately he's trying to like wrap his like arm around like my sides. And I was like, no, like stop, like no. And I remember as I'm trying to like move, he grabs my phone and like takes a picture of like us. And I was like, no. And this man looks at me and he goes, I've never been denied before. And I just stared. I'm like, what? And I guess his ego was a little bruised, so then literally like the next sentence that came out of his mouth was, you know, you have a hairy chest and you have a beard. Like, bitch, what? And I was like, like what? And then he looks me up and down and goes, do you work on your abs? And I was like, oh, like not really, like I play soccer, but like, you know, I don't focus on that. And he was like, oh, well, I do. And he grabs my stomach and goes, yeah, you can tell you don't. Like, excuse you? Keep in mind, this man had basically a fucking beer belly. No way you're coming for how my body looks right now. Just because your ego's bruised. And then he's like, let's go swim in the quarry. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. And this man starts to proceed to try to throw me into the quarry, into the water. And I'm basically fighting. I'm like, no, stop. And I'm like, no, get off me. Like, no, I don't want to go in. My foot is getting closer and closer to the edge. And then all of a sudden, we hear this deep voice yell, "Stop! What are you doing? Private property, you need to leave." And I was like, oh my God, God has answered my prayers. And then immediately he's like, oh my God, and he starts freaking out and he's like, come on. And it turns out it was just a group of kids. But honestly, thank you, because you guys saved my life. And of course he knew them. And eventually after that he was like, okay, let's just like leave. So we're walking back to the car, and then he was like, oh, I want to stop at this gas station. It has like a bakery inside. I still don't know what the fuck, like, what do you mean? Like, but he wasn't lying. Like, the gas station literally had like a bakery inside. So he finds a spot and he parks and he's like, look, like, I can't be seen with you. So either you can go in and buy yourself something, or you can just stay here. So I'm like, I'll have to stay in here. So in that moment, that's what you see in my video when I was in his car freaking out. For any of you who don't know, you can go look at the video. And eventually comes back with this like brown sugar like treat. I still don't know what it was to say. It had like frosting on it. It was like, I don't know. And he like insists on me trying it, and I was like, oh no, I'm good. Like, and I make a joke and I was like, oh, I gotta watch for like the summer bod. This man dead like just looks at me and goes, what summer bod? I'm like, what? So now I'm like, oh my God, like, I need to get out of this car. And he keeps driving fast, you know. So I think I'm just gonna like die in the car. And I'm like, well, this is it, you know. And this entire time he is talking about how much money he's made and how he made this side business of something with like pools and like people buying pools, and how he's made 6 figures already and he's paying for his college all himself, and just like trying to impress me with like how much money he has and how he had this nice car, but he got too many speeding tickets, so now he has to drive this one. Just a bunch of fucking bullshit. And I'm just like, oh my God. By the grace of God, somehow he drops me back off at my friend's house because I did not want him knowing my real address. And I was like, oh my God, I made it. I am alive. Then this man has the audacity to text me afterwards and was like, oh, I had a lot of fun hanging out with you. Like, thank you for teaching me what patience is. What the fuck does that mean? And then eventually I went off at him and I was like, fuck you, you're fucking weird. You called me fat, ugly, the whole shebang. Like, I am never speaking to you again. And then I ended up unadding him. And to this day, I will still get a random text being like, hey, I miss you, or like, can we please talk? Baby, no. So let this video be your sign that you can say no if you feel uncomfortable. And if you're stuck in a situation like me, just call your friend or parent, because you do never want to feel unsafe. Just no, it's not worth it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the story, and if you want more, like, comment, and yeah, peace out.
Hey guys, I want to talk about something really serious and scary that happened the other day. On Monday, I went to take my dog to get fixed and then decided to kill time because it was far away from home. And I was in Barnes & Noble's just looking for some books and stuff. And this guy approached me and loudly started asking, am I Puerto Rican? What kind of ethnicity am I? Very identifying questions, very loudly. As he was talking, this one guy kind of walked past and was staring at us, and I kind of just ignored it, thought this guy was just walking around. So after he was like, are you sure? What ethnicity are you? Are you from around here? This and that. And I wasn't really answering. I just kind of kept looking at my book and just was like, yeah, nope, not Puerto Rican. I don't know, da-da-da. He goes, okay, well, have a great day. Walks away. I kind of moved over. He comes, circles around again, and looks at my wedding ring and goes, dang, you're married? Really loudly again, and saying, how much do you think your ring cost? Mind you, it was like $100. We're cheap. I break things. I didn't want a real ring. I love my ring. Love it. But also, glad it's not expensive. And I was just like, nope. Cheap. Yep. Happily married. This and that. And he kept saying loudly, well, how much do you think that's worth? Like, your husband must really love you. You look like you must make a lot of money. Mind you, I don't even look this good. My hair is up in a greasy bun. I'm a mess. I'm pale. I'm nervous about my dog. You know, all that stuff. And so he's loudly asking questions. Do you have kids? Not really answering him again. Kind of just looking at the book. And I'm just like, yep, okay. Looking over at the help desk for help. As I'm looking over, and this one guy, they're all kind of ignoring me, but as this one guy kind of looks like he might jump in, that nicely dressed guy comes flying around and goes, excuse me, and starts asking questions and interrupts the guy. So I'm like, okay. Mind you, the guy that's talking to me is very dressed down, looks a mess, to be honest. Looks a mess. So finally, after a few seconds, or a few minutes of that, him asking me questions, not really answering, he goes, okay, thanks, well, have a great day. Like, okay, finally, he's gone. I move around to another spot. That guy, the nicely dressed guy, leaves the building. Then this guy comes running up to me again, the not dressed nice guy, and goes, can I have your phone number? You're beautiful. I want your phone number. I said, nope, sorry. Like, I don't give that out. Married. He goes, well, what's your Instagram? Mind you, I do have a public Instagram, but I was like, sorry, it's private. I don't give that out. Well, are you sure? I really want to follow you. You seem like you'd be really, really inspiring, and I just want to keep in touch. Nope, sorry. I don't give that out. Thank you. Okay, well, have you ever heard about the mob? And starts talking about the Italian mob. And again, loudly talking. And this nicely dressed guy comes flying back in the building and kind of just starts circling. And I'm like, okay, my radar is going off. I am so shut down. I don't like this. So finally, after like a few minutes of talking about the mob and just rambling, I'm like, okay, well, thanks. Have a great day. And him again. He's like, okay, have a great day. Like, it was so nice talking to you. Da-da-da. I'm like, okay. So he flies towards the bathroom almost, and the nicely dressed guy leaves the building again. I go to another section and kind of try to hide as I see this guy. I'm standing in that section for a few minutes, kind of just keeping my eyes down, but looking around. And so that unnicely dressed guy goes towards the bathroom, and I think he went in the bathroom. I don't really know. So after hiding for a few minutes, the nicely dressed guy comes flying in the building again and is looking around, and I just booked it. I went out to my car, flew to my car, locked the door, and got the fuck out of there. Excuse my language. Just got out of there. And it was one of those things where I just was like, this did not happen. This did not happen. I went and got my dog. I was shaking so bad. And when I got into the vet's office, they were like, I told them because I was shaking. They were like, you're really pale. Are you okay? And I was like, no, this just happened. They're like, yeah, that was not okay. Like, but here's the thing. Here's the scary thing is that I was literally looking to the people for help, and they were ignoring me. And I was like, looking at them like, help, help. Like, this guy kept cornering me. And then the one time somebody looked like they were going to step in, this guy interrupted and distracted them. And I don't like to think the worst, but this was a full-on traffic situation, like traffic cone situation. I really didn't want to think that, but it was. I'm a 5'0" girl. I am a bodybuilder, but I'm not in my strength zone right now. I'm getting back into it. But it is scary. I have 2 daughters. And this is what's going on in the world. It is terrifying. And normally I will talk to anyone. My body shut down. Like, shut down ground zero. There was no, I could not conversate with anybody if I tried. So all that to say, females, please be careful, because this was in Reading, Pennsylvania. I do not live in Reading, for the record. I'm not around Reading. But this was in Reading, Pennsylvania. Wyomissing, actually, which is a nice area. It's right outside of Penn State Berks. Not somewhere you would think is going to happen. It was a full-on where he was trying to loudly get conversation, information about me, find out if anybody was going to be missing me, whatnot, and that nicely dressed guy was trying to go unnoticed and was walking around. And I saw them lock eyes. And once I noticed that, he booked it. Like, he acted like, he knew I picked up on what was going on. And, yeah, it is a scary world out there. Be alert at all times, because this is what is going on in the world. In America. And This terrifies me for my daughters. Terrifies me. So, I'm shaking even just talking about that. Thinking about it again. But I wanted to make sure my story got out there. Be aware of everybody. I drove home bawling my eyes out the whole time. I was terrified. But yeah, be aware of your surroundings, because it can happen. Can happen. And I am thankfully blessed and lucky that nothing worse happened. So take care of yourselves and be alert. Be safe. Look out for each other. Love each other.
Ready with me for bed, but story time on why I'm suspended from school. Okay, so Friday, I think it was the 21st of November, me and my friends decided, you know, why not before school, because it's Friday, you know, we're about to be on Thanksgiving break, you know, we don't ever smoke, like, we don't ever do that before school, because obviously you're not supposed to, but we was like, why not, just it's Friday, Thanksgiving break's coming, might as well. That was my mindset, saying like, okay, I don't really care, I'm about to be on break, it doesn't matter. So we do it before school, you know, whatever. Third period comes, I'm in class, you know, doing my work. So the security guard comes to my classroom and was like, Zamaya, I'm gonna need you to come with me and bring your things. So at this point, I'm like, I'm gone. Like, I'm gone as fuck. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I get so paranoid when I'm, you know, out of this world. So I'm just like, fuck, I'm cooked. I'm done. This is over. I'm, like, thinking, like, what the fuck's my mom gonna say? I had so many, like, emotions going through my fucking head. Like, I was just like, fuck, I'm done. So as I'm, like, walking to the, like, where all the security guards are and shit, and, like, where my principal is, he's asking, he's like, oh, so... He was like, so what did you do? Well, what did you do? He's like, you did something. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And it's one of the security guards that I actually liked. And I'm telling him, I'm acting so fucking confused. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking confused. I'm confused. Okay, I get down there and I see my two friends. So I'm like, okay, yo, this is definitely what it's for. So we're just sitting there, we're like talking to other security guards. We're like, we're confused as fuck, you know, acting dumb still. So then at this point, we're waiting in the office, and we're like, where's the principal? Because that's obviously, you know, who we have to wait for. So we was waiting for, like, at least 20 minutes. Mind you, I could have been in class still getting work done, and they could have called me down when my principal was down here. Like, I was literally doing work, and then they want to come get me. Like, fuck. Anyway, so my principal gets down there or whatever. She's like, I'm going to need you guys one at a time, and we're like, okay. So my friend goes first, and, you know, they scan us, making sure we have nothing. They didn't find anything on either of us, but then I go, and I start beeping in the back of my fucking neck, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I literally have nothing on me. I was like, I'll literally take my shirt off. I was like, I swear to God, I have nothing on me, because the fuck am I beeping for? But then it was my necklaces, and my principal knew that, so she just didn't care about that. Then she goes, are you high? And I'm like, yeah. This is where I fucked up, and I should have been like, no, I'm not, it's my lashes, or I could have been like, I'm tired, because they didn't find anything on me, and I could have just lied my way out of this, but it's not what I did. I was like, yeah, I'm high. You know, my fried ass just being honest when I'm normally a fucking liar. And the one time I want to fucking be honest, the thing now I'm getting sent away to... I can't even talk. I'm going to a bad kid school for 45 days. I have to be placed in there. So there was 3 of us, and 2 of us got caught. The 1 person did not get caught. Good for her, though, because this isn't fun. But, yeah. Also, they searched my car. Me and my friend's car. The other one doesn't drive, so they didn't check her stuff at all. They just told her to go back to class. Yeah. And I'm, like, off the cheer team. You know, everything's fucked. Senior year was going so fucking good. One of my favorite years so far. And then, boom. Canon event. This is my life. But, I'm heartbroken over cheer, obviously. But what can I do? Move on. She said it's not going to fuck up my future with college and everything. So I'm just going to go do this 45 days, go back to school. I have 3 months of high school left, and I will be done. So just pray. Just pray for me. I'm in the Delphi for 2 months, I think. I'm so scared. So don't make dumb decisions like me. Love you guys. Bye.
Okay, Here's what we've all been waiting for. Here's the story time on how my dad died robbing a Wendy's on the show Cops. Okay, and a little disclaimer, I don't think this story is funny. I just get really awkward when telling it. So, bear with me. Also, I've gotten a lot of people saying that this was fake. No, I believe the show followed around real cops. Obviously, it's not fake, or else I wouldn't be saying this. But, yeah, it's not fake. Moral of the story. So this happened in Omaha, Nebraska on August 26th of 2014. So I was about 8 around the time. I think I was in 3rd grade. And my dad was Cortez, Washington. I can put his face here. And he was 32 at the time. So I really don't know why Wendy's was where he decided to rob. I don't know if he just really wanted a Frosty or what was going on. But yeah, so my dad was just, you know, doing his thing at Wendy's. And the cops obviously pulled up and they were filming the reality show Cops. And a lot of people, some people don't know that show, but it's like the show Bad Boys, what you gonna do? I actually watched the show before I knew my dad was gonna die on it, so it's awkward. During that day, also another person died. That was like the sound guy in the crew, so it was actually a really sad day because it was more than 2 people, and my dad didn't really even have a real, like, it was a fake one, but obviously nobody knew that, so I don't really blame anybody, but it's a bad situation overall. They tried to shoot him, I believe, like 30 something times, and then he finally, like, and so it took a while. They took him to the hospital. I think he, like, died at the hospital. And then I kind of found out, I think, a couple days later or something, and they had, like, released the footage, and you could, like, literally see everything. So that was amazing, because all of my people in elementary school, my classmates had found it, so safe to say I did online school all throughout middle school. But moral of the story is, yes, my dad did really die on the show Cops. He was robbing a Wendy's. I don't know why Wendy's was the choice, but it happened. And you can look up the episode, I think, or maybe, yeah, no, I think there's just video footage. Cortez, Washington, Omaha, shooting Wendy's. That's all. So, thanks for watching.
I know I probably seem like a crybaby bitch right now, but I just would like to show you the new rules in place at my house. You can't go anywhere, only to school and volleyball practice. You can't leave school for lunch. No picking up friends for practice or school. No one ever comes to the house. Go to the gym at 5 a.m. every day. You must clean every day. Homework every day. And study for SAT every day. I have to get a new job. Like, why? Like, actually, why? I love my job. Anyways. Insurance, $130 a month. Save $300 a month. I'm lucky if I get paid $300 a month, but okay. My phone stays in the kitchen after 8 p.m. Like, I'm literally an adult in a couple months. Like, this is crazy. Communicate, no lying, and respect us and our rules. Every day participating in dinner. Go grocery shopping. Eat with family and not late at night. Okay. Participate in this family. You're not a roommate here and you're not an adult. I don't know. I just think this is, like, so crazy controlling. Like, I'm going to be an adult so soon. Like, this is just crazy to me. And I guess not that big of a deal, but what the fuck? Like, this is so crazy. Like, in a couple months, like, I'm generally gonna be an adult, and, like, they parent me like I'm 14. And they didn't pay for my phone, like, nothing, like. And she, like, controls my card access. Like, I can't spend money on things or she'll take it away. Like, and it's not like I have a spending problem. Like, I get a drink at most every day, but anyways, I just wanted to share because, yeah.
I've been waiting so I could heal. I have healed, so I'm ready to do story times, y'all. So my bestie, I would do it, so here we are, okay? So, this person is going to be named Grwn, okay? Me and Daquan have been in a very long relationship, okay? Daquan has family, friends, whatever, coming into town, okay? So, us living together, Daquan's like, is it cool, if he stays here? I'm like, yeah, no worries. I don't care. I'm not one of them girlfriends that's going to be like, your homie can't stay here, da-da-da-da. I'm not like that. But after this, you'll be lucky if you can have a friend. So, Daquan's cousin comes into town. He comes to the crib. They all hanging out, whatever. Cool. They all decide to go out. Now, me, I'm going to stay home because I feel like it's a guy's night out. I'm going to let y'all do what y'all do. Have a guy's night out. That's how it's supposed to be. You, your homies, y'all all go out, whatever. I don't want to be involved. I'm cool. I'm going to stay home with my baby and watch Netflix. So they go out. They having a good time. He's very communicative. He calls me, I think, one time, and I hear a female in the background, but the type of person I am, if you've been to downtown Tempe, you're around a bunch of people. I'm not worried about hearing, females. But she sounded a little close. Neither here nor there. So, like I said, he's communicative, and that's all I really give a fuck about. That's perfect for me. You letting me know what's going on, keeping me updated, letting me know you good. I'm cool with that. Now, Daquan decides to come home at 6 a.m. I was always taught you never walk in nobody's door at 6 a.m. You might as well just stay out. Period. Because it's very, very giving no decorum. Okay? Now, yes, this is an apartment that me and Daquan shared. But this was my apartment. I had this apartment before Daquan. Okay? Before Daquan came into the picture, this was a place that I was staying at. In the midst of them coming in the house, I hear Daquan on the phone. And it sounds like Daquan's whispering sweet nothings. So I'm confused and curious. But I don't say nothing. So I get up after a while, laying in the bed, getting, brush my teeth, wash my face, all that regular shit. Walk in the living room, and they all laid out on pallets, like little blankets, pillows, whatever. Cool. Daquan's sitting on the couch. He got his phone in his hand. And I don't know what came over me at that moment in time, but something told me, snatch that phone. That phone gonna give you everything you need, sis. I'm gonna tell you that. On another note, his friends are not your friends. His family, they could be your family, but they're not your family. If he does something fucked up or wrong, those are not the people that you can go and confide in, period. And they're not going to tell you, period. So, like I said, something came over me and said, snatch that phone. And I'm like, So I snatch it real quick. And the way he jumped, I ain't never seen Daquan act like this, especially over no phone. Daquan has always been a person, he would leave his phone where the fuck ever. He does not care because he was never doing anything that we know of. So, snatch the phone, and Daquan jumps up. Like he sprinted into action. My first mind is to run. I want to see how far you're willing to chase me. So I ran. I got his phone in my hand. My apartment is not that big. There's either run to the front door, which there's pallets on the floor, or run to the back door. Back door for 500, please. So I run through that back door. I have a patio on my back door. A little short, probably up to my legs. Hop over it. Daquan's still chasing me, gang. I'm juking. Heisman. Juking. Heisman. Because what the fuck is it in this phone where you feel the need to chase me? I kid you not. I run all the way down the street to damn near the grocery store. The grocery store was on the corner of our block. I run down to the grocery store. Daquan's still chasing me. I finally get tired and stop. Because I really don't give a fuck. I wasn't even going to go through the phone. I just wanted to see if you were going to chase me. He says, you know what? Fuck it. You can have it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. He starts walking away. I was like, what? Not you just chased me all the way down the street and now you don't care? Oh no, baby. So I start going through the phone. Guess what I find? He's sitting here texting with a girl. We're going to call her Marisol. Okay? So him and Mari been texting all night long. Okay? He got shorty number at the club. I'm assuming it was a 3-man. Because Marisol had a bunch of bitches she was with. Okay? Marisol came with friends. Fuck you talking about? Marisol blowing him up. So when are we going to link again? Da-da-da-da. You're so sexy. Da-da-da-da. So I'm sitting at home with your baby. And you out at the club chasing Noonie Cat. So I called Marisol. Because I'm a bold ass bitch. Hello? Walking back to the apartment, I'm like, hello? Marisol picks up. She's like, hola. I'm like, Marisol, did the Quan tell you he had a girlfriend that he lives with a baby? Marisol like, oh no, baby girl, he didn't tell me none of that. Okay, I just met him last night at the club. Clock it. Okay, that's what we doing. So we going outside with our homies picking up bitches. Got it. So I walked back in the house, tossed him his phone. I was like, I talked to Marisol, just gotta let you know. The best friend, the cousin, looking at him like, oh no! Like this story. Comment if you want a part 2, because I can give you the rest.
I'm currently on my way home from a date. First date of 2026. And I have no problems posting this because he told me he doesn't have TikTok. And honestly, even if he did, I wouldn't give a fuck if he saw this. Because this man decided to psychoanalyze everything about me. Everything. He and I met in the wild. We met playing kickball. And we had a really great time. And I was like, oh my god, he's like kind of cute. And like we were having fun. So we decided to go on a date. So we did. And as the date's going on, we're having a lovely time. I'm having a great time. But then he starts getting a little drunker. And that's when the truth starts to really come out. And he was like, psychoanalyze me. And literally was like, I bet you're on anxiety meds. And I was like, yeah, I am. Like, how'd you come to that conclusion? He's like, you just give those vibes. He was like, you're clearly a very sheltered person. You're clearly somebody who thinks you know everything and like has seen the world, but you don't know anything. And then he just starts going on and on and on about all the things that he's decided about me. In 2 hours, he's decided all of this about me to make me feel bad about myself. I have no idea. And he was like, then trying to question me, oh, how many relationships have you been in? I'm like, that's none of your business. He's like, I bet you've been in a lot of situationships, but don't ever have a boyfriend. And I was like, wow, you really just have me all figured out. So we're starting the year off really strong. And I wish I could like make this funny, but at this point, like it's not funny. It's just mean. It's just mean. Okay, wow. Hi, everybody. Obviously did not expect that to blow up, but I figured I would give the full story of what actually happened, and I have notes. So let's get into it. Okay, so like I said, we met playing kickball. A lot of people seem to find that weird. It's really common in the New York City metro area to play intramural kickball, so that like wasn't weird to me. I don't know. So we went to dinner and we had a really lovely time. Honestly, the dinner was great. We were getting along really well. We had really good banter. We were talking about, our upbringings and, we got on the topic of exes, which is pretty early for, a first date, but he had brought up his ex a couple times. I was like, oh, like, is it fresh, whatever. And then, he told me and I told him about my ex, but overall, like, dinner was really lovely and we had a really, really great time. I would say the only thing that I took note of during the dinner was how much he drank. So he basically had a Jameson on the rocks and then he had an old fashioned. And like, I don't really care like if you drink, but I don't know. He was definitely getting a little tipsy and I don't know if he drank beforehand. That's none of my business, whatever. But I don't drink and he knew this. And so, I mean, I don't care if you drink, but like, I don't know, it was a little much, like maybe have one or two, but he did make fun of me for drinking a mocktail. And he was like, what's the point of having a mocktail? I was like, well, I don't want to just drink water. And then I am a vegan because of health reasons. And he made a point to be like, vegans, those aren't real. And I was like, okay, whatever. So whatever. Dinner was really lovely and we had a really nice time. So then after we paid, after he paid, he was like, do you want to go to another place? I was like, yeah, sure. That sounds great. Like, let's go to another location. Like, we were having fun. We were having a really good time. So we walked to another bar, and this is when things start to get a little dicey. Okay, I really need my notes for this part. So as we're walking to the next bar, he stopped at this other bar on the way, and he was like, hey, can we just pop in here so I can, like, say hi to my friends? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, that's fine. So we go in, and it's a really ratchet bar. I just want to, like, point that out. If anyone's from, like, this area, it was the Mad Hatter, okay? Red flag. But, so we go in, and then he walks up to the bar, and I guess he's, like, friends with the bartenders. I don't really know, but he was like, these are my friends. And I was like, okay, like, hi, nice to meet you. And then he does a shot. And I was like, okay, like, why are we doing a shot? Like, whatever. And he goes, okay, we can leave now. And I was like, that was so weird, but fine, whatever. So then we go to the next bar. And when we get there, he goes, okay, do you want anything? Probably nothing, right? And I was like, I mean, I'll take a water now. So I get a water, he gets a beer. And then we sit down, and he goes, okay, so could I start asking you, like, the real questions? And I was like, sure, like, you can ask me anything, like, what's up? And he asked me what my body count is. And I was like, excuse me? He goes, yeah, like, what's your body count? And I was like, that's really none of your business. We just met. Like, that's a really intense question for a first date, and I don't want to talk about that. And then that's when he asked me, are you on anxiety meds? And I was like, yeah, like, what does that have to do with anything? And he was like, are you on Prozac, 40 milligrams? Like, he guessed my exact dosage. And I was like, yeah, what do you, like, where is this coming from? Why are you asking me this? This is very strange. And he was like, you probably don't have a high drive then if you're on Prozac. And I was like, what? Like, this is so inappropriate. I was like, this is very inappropriate. It's making me uncomfortable. Like, I don't know where this is coming from. I don't want to talk about this, and I don't understand, like, where this is coming from. And he was like, you just seem like a really anxious person. I'm like, yeah, I have anxiety. Like, who doesn't have anxiety? I love my Prozac. Me and Prozac are like this, like, whatever. I'm not ashamed to be on Prozac. But it was just a weird way of approaching it. So then he was like, then he said, okay, well, it's just very clear that that's why you've really never had a boyfriend. And I was like, excuse me? I was like, this is extremely rude. I was like, you think you have me all figured out? And he goes, well, you're really easy to read. And I said, okay, what else have you observed about me tonight that I'm so easy to read? What have you observed? So he said, it's clear that I'm the type of girl who's never had a boyfriend and is always in situationships. And I was like, interesting. Okay, go on. And then he said that I definitely think I'm smarter than I am, and I'm really not that smart. And I was like, bro, I actually have a degree from an Ivy League school. I'm highly, highly educated. I do think I'm smart because I am smart. And if you're intimidated by my intelligence, that's your problem, not mine. I didn't say that. That's what I was thinking. I did mention my Ivy League degree, though. And he was like, yeah, but, like, anyone can get one. I was like, you don't have one. He's like, you're also kind of a smart ass. I was like, you're damn right. I'm going to mock you, especially right now. Then he also said that I think I'm really cultured and really well-traveled. Not once did I mention traveling, because I actually hate to travel. I am a homebody. I don't like to leave my house. I don't like to leave New Jersey. I'm not a traveler. And so I was like, that's interesting. Never once did I mention traveling. He's like, yeah, but you think you're, like, so, like, cultured because you go to museums. I was like, yeah, that's the point of museums, is to learn. So apparently that's a bad thing. He also said, clearly you're, like, one of those annoying feminists. And I was like, yeah, I am a feminist, damn right. He said that I'm a vegan because I think it makes me better than other people and that my allergies are fake. And I was like, no, I'm actually allergic to a lot of food. I can't eat milk, I can't eat eggs. But he was like, no, it's just because you think you're better than everyone else. I was like, wow, you really have me all figured out. And he goes, yeah, but the one thing I can't figure out, and maybe you can answer this for me. And I was like, what's that? He goes, why do you think your ex cheated on you? And I was like, excuse me? And he was like, why do you think your ex cheated on you? Like, clearly there must have been a reason. I had a boyfriend who cheated on me, and I did share that with him. And I was like, you know what? I don't know why he cheated on me, but they are married now, so maybe it was meant to be. And I said, this is extremely inappropriate. You psychoanalyzed me, and now you're berating me. And I said, this was a lovely night that you decided to destroy. I'm going to leave. And I left. And that's when I posted the video. And I was only upset. I know it seemed like I was upset about the, like, whole Prozac thing. I was more upset by, like, the last question you asked about my ex.
I think people cheating sucks. And, you know, I went to therapy. I got over it. But, like, don't bring that up. So overall, everyone who's saying, like, oh, was he right? He was right. No, he wasn't right. He's just a fucking asshole.
Hey guys, story time. So basically my best friend cheated on his girlfriend and I told his girlfriend out of respect for her, because if it was me, I'd want the same thing done for me. But she turned me into the bad guy and I got blocked. So this story comes with receipts, by the way. This is my proof, because I know both of them are going to see this. This is my proof that what I am saying is fucking factual. I will put my right hand on the Bible and swear to it. Basically, my best friend, we're going to call him Daniel. Him and I have literally been best friends for the last, like, 15 years. He's been my neighbor, like, we were like this growing up. About a year ago, he meets this girl. Him and this girl get together. They're great. I'm so happy for him. For them. Whatever. Because he's in a relationship, I kind of just respected that. Him and I snapped, like, back and forth maybe once or twice a day, every day. But, like, we essentially lost all contact. Mind you, me and him, deadass, used to hang out every single day. Since they've been together almost the entire year, him and I have hung out once. For reference of me respecting this relationship. So I'm married. Leave me alone. I don't want your man. Okay, so basically about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, me and Daniel are snapping. I'm driving. I'm going to pick my little sister up from school, so I am not paying a lick of fucking attention to what you're sending me. It's maybe 4:30 in the afternoon, 4:45, and I'm going to pick my little sister up from practice. So he's snapping me back and forth. This is like the most that him and I have snapped in a while, which is why I was like, weird, okay. And he's snapping me. It's like he's in his bed, like it's dark and his TV's on. So we snapped maybe like 4 or 5 times back and forth before I'm in like the school parking lot and I'm sitting there waiting for my sister. And so when I'm sitting there, I look at this snap he sends me and I'm like, oh my gosh. It is literally a picture of his esquife. It is literally a picture of his penis. So I'm like, ew, stop. Gross. What? For reference, I've also always referred to Daniel as my brother to anybody who asks. Always referred to him as my brother. So I texted him and I said, bro, what the fuck? Like, ew, what the fuck? Mind you, I have a boyfriend and he fucking knows this. So what he did was not only disrespectful to his girlfriend, but disrespectful to me and my boyfriend. So I'm pissed off. And I am like, what the fuck are you doing? I leave him on open for a day. And our streak is about to run out. Mind you, he never answered me when I said, bro, what the fuck? He just snapped me back. So I leave him on open for a day. When our streak's about to run out, I send him like a snap so we didn't lose our streak. And he sends me a chat and said, open for a day is crazy. And I said, what you did is crazy. And he was like, the exact words were actually MB gang. And I was like, bitch, what the fuck? Mind you, I am not the person you're supposed to be apologizing to. And that is exactly what I said to him. I was like, I am not the person you're supposed to be apologizing to. Which he just left me on open for a day. So then I snap him again when our streak's about to run out, whatever. We snapped back and forth for a few days before I noticed that he had blocked me. So I was like, what the fuck? Like, I told him right then and there, listen, I'm not the one you're supposed to be apologizing to. Apologize to your fucking girlfriend. What more can I do? So once I saw that he had blocked me, I went and looked his girlfriend up on my Snapchat to see that I was blocked. And I was like, okay, weird, what the fuck? So I text his phone and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what is your problem? Why am I blocked? And then I tried calling him, which then made me realize that he blocked my phone number. But he has an Android, so it says that my texts are delivering. They're actually not. So once I realized that my phone number is blocked, I go to text him on Instagram. I text him on Instagram like 2 days in a row, get nothing back. But I'm seeing that he's reading my texts on Instagram. So then I called him on Instagram, which, again, he didn't answer, obviously. So then Tuesday, today is Wednesday. So yesterday I DM'd him and I said, either you start telling me what I did wrong or what your problem is, or I'm showing up to your house. To which he just left me on red. Mind you, he has still not blocked me on Instagram, and I've been DMing him on Instagram for like 2 weeks now. But then this morning, when I saw that he had read my text to him, I DM'd him and I said, either you tell me what's going on, or I'm gonna tell your girlfriend what you've been up to. His girlfriend, we're gonna call her Kit Kat. So he reads my DM to him, saying that, and then blocks me on Instagram. So when I saw that he had blocked me on Instagram, I went to TikTok. Also, slight side note, I followed his girlfriend on Instagram on New Year's Eve, trying to DM her, but her DMs are set to like follow back only, so I couldn't DM her on Instagram. So then I go to TikTok. I follow his girlfriend on TikTok and I DM her. And I was like, hey, is everything okay with Daniel? She just replied with, hey, what do you mean? And then she finally followed me back on Instagram and DM'd me, hey, you DM me on TikTok, like, what are you talking about? Here's where our receipts come out. Okay, so this is what I started off with is, hey, you text me on TikTok, what do you mean? And I said, hey, so he just up and blocked me on literally everything. I've just been trying to figure out why. He was like reading my text for a few days, then he just blocked me, meaning on Instagram.
And then she said, I think everything's been fine. I had no idea. Did he say anything before? To which I sent her this giant essay. I just said, no, he started acting really weird towards me, and I don't remember the day, but it was probably a month ago. Never mind, y'all can read it. He responds and said, is that why you blocked me? And I said, I didn't block you. When I saw he blocked me on Snapchat, I went to see if you blocked me too, and you were gone. Which I went through my blocked list on Snapchat and searched her name up again. I did not block her. She said, I asked him about you a couple months ago, maybe 2, and I went and checked and unadded me for some reason, then I couldn't find you at all. What did he send them on anyway? Like, do you even have any proof? Which, okay, I probably should have came at her with proof, but I was not going to save that. Sorry, I didn't want to have to see it again. Said, yeah, I just went through my block list and looked you up on Snapchat. You're not on either of them. Meaning she blocked me. At this point, I was thinking maybe he blocked me on her phone, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't really want to bring it up, especially because she's being a little hostile here. This is very minor to what we're about to get into. I said I didn't save them, but when I told him to stop, he immediately changed our chats to delete immediately, which he did. Before blocking me on Snapchat, he did change our chats to delete immediately, which I was like, okay. He hits me with it. This just doesn't seem like him. Girl, I known your man for 15 years. You've known him for 9 months. Anyways, like I said, Daniel has been my best friend for the last 15 years. This is not something I would make up just for the hell of it. Because again, it's not. Why would I do that? That makes no sense. Okay, so then you have this. Did he say anything or he just sent them? This is a pretty big accusation with nothing. Which is where I was like, okay, she's gonna flip this on me. I sent her this giant big thing that you see here. Yep, y'all can read it. She said, I just don't understand. I said, I'm not accusing, I'm telling you what you deserve to know. I'll send you screenshots of my text with him. And that is exactly what I did. And she says to me, but weren't you asking him for rides and breadcrumbs like a month ago? I'm just confused. Like, was it a picture of his or in his boxers? Okay, slight backstory on the breadcrumb and the ride thing. My parents were both, my dad was at work and my mom was out of town, and one of my cars was in the shop and it needed to come home that day, and my sister was not in town either. She's the only person in my family that can drive, and my dad had asked me if I could go pick it up because it was a Friday night, otherwise we wouldn't be able to get the car on Monday. So my dad asked me if I could have Daniel take me to go get my car, which is not out of the ordinary. I mean, it was literally like 15 minutes from the house. Again, my neighbor, like, this is normal. Okay, so I sent her this giant thing back explaining to her that this is a normal thing for us. It's really nothing out of the ordinary, and I didn't think anything of it, really. Y'all can read it. Just go for it. She said to me, it's just you're acting like this was disgusting and unloyal, and then proceeded to try and see him. Mind you, me asking him for breadcrumbs and the ride is all before this ever takes place. This is not after. This is not following the incident. This is all before he did what he did. Again, girl, I don't want your fucking man. I promise. So then she asked me why I didn't reach out sooner, and I told her that I told him to tell you, that I gave him the opportunity to tell her, and I tried to DM her earlier, but her DMs are set to follow back, and she never followed me back, and she also has me blocked on Snapchat. So there's that. I think she was offended that I clocked her fucking shit, and she sent me this. Which, I mean, if I'm in the wrong, y'all tell me. If I'm in the wrong for being friends with him still, I mean, I see no harm in being friends with somebody if you are secure, but apparently she is not. So then you guys can read the big thing that I sent her back. And that was all moments before she blocked me. So that was our entire thing. Just kind of wanted to get y'all's, opinion on this. Sorry this is a long-ass video, but let me know if you guys, have any opinions or anything. But yeah, that's my story on Kit Kat and Daniel, and how my best friend cheated on his girlfriend, and she turned around and tried to make me a bitch. Don't understand how I'm the bad guy in this situation. I simply just told her what was going on. Also, this is the second time I've sent a hey girly text, and the girl has been an absolute fucking bitch to me. But yeah. Hope you guys enjoy my story time. Let me know if you have any thoughts or opinions, or yeah. Love ya. Bye.
Hi, I just wanted to share a quick warning. Last night I experienced something that was, well, it was this morning, and it was kind of scary. There was a lady on here on TikTok that said that we should not sleep with our phones facing us because she woke up to a man staring at her, and that actually happened to me yesterday or this morning at 4 a.m. I went to sleep around 1 and woke up to a sound of microphones, so I thought I was still a little groggy. It happened again. Looking back, I feel like, At first I thought, okay, they had an open mic. They accidentally left their mic on and I was able to wake up and see, and catch them. But no, I think what they were doing, it was a man and he was on my screen. He basically mapped into my phone. And I think what he was doing was poking me to wake me up so that I would enter my passcode and he would be able to get in and get my information. Because I had watched that lady's video, that kind of warned me of what, immediately I knew what this was. So yes, there was a man on my phone and he was sitting in a computer room, or in a room, bedroom even. He was in a computer chair. He had dual monitors. He was looking at both monitors like this. And that's the only reason at first I was like, no, this isn't real. But once he started looking back and forth to each of his monitors, I knew, okay, he's real. This is real. This is really happening. The other thing that I noticed, he was brown. It's like a brown man. I don't know what nationality. He had black hair. It was at 4 a.m. And I usually sleep with YouTube on. Is the problem. I'm not going to do it anymore. I sleep with YouTube on so I could fall asleep. It helps me to fall asleep. For the other lady, the phone was facing her, so he was watching her sleep. For me, the phone was facing the ceiling, and when I initially looked at my phone, it was kind of on a dim mode, so I could see him. When I touched my phone, it lit up on the screensaver, and strangely, he phased out, kind of like he cloaked himself to be invisible. But I knew where he was and I knew what I was looking for, so I could still see him. Like, he was pixelated, but I could still see him. He was still there. And then I moved away from the phone and it went back to a dim mode, and he was clearly on my phone. He had control of my phone. So I couldn't imagine, I mean, joke's on him because I don't have anything, but you know, I imagine he tried to get my credit card information and my account, my bank account stuff. But so I'm gonna have to go and fix that. And I'm turning my phone off at night. So that lady warned me. So I knew what I was looking at when it happened this morning at 4 a.m. So now I'm warning you. I'm so sorry, but I'm warning you. Be very careful. Just letting your YouTube go at night. Maybe if you're listening to rain sounds or ocean waves. I don't know who it is, but they're watching us.
Will I get over it? No. But life goes on. Not for me.
Story time. Oh. Hey, bitches. It's your favorite white girl. Go get your snacks and all your chips. Yeah. Grab your pen. You know what we about to do. I'm going to give y'all story time on the second time I ever got set up. Very much requested. Enjoy. Okay, so from previous story times, we already know Jotita. Jotita was a little girl that I met in an apartment growing up. We went to middle school together, a little bit of high school, and we became friends when we both dropped out again. Well, this one day, I believe 2 summers ago, Jotita's asking me if I want to come over. Do I want to come over? Of course I say yes, because, bitch, my biggest cry for... I go to my mom's room, I ask my mom. Of course she does the little clean your room and put all this stuff up, and then I could go. Bet. Clean my shit. Put my stuff up. Sorry, I just got a call. I don't know exactly where I left off, but I'm guessing like where I clean my room, and then I'm headed to her house. Right before I get to leaving, I text her because I usually be like, oh, I'm on my way. And I text her and I'm like, hey, I'm going that way. And she's like, oh, actually stop down the street. And in my head, I'm like, girl, what? Like, what's going on? So I tell my mom, I'm like, oh, she said stop at the end of the street. And my mom's like, okay, like that drops me off. And then my mom leaves and I walk up and I go to her house. When I go to her house, she texts me, she's like, And so I go to her backyard, I go to the side by her window, and when I get to by her window, she opens it, and I hear other voices in there, but I ain't even worried, because like she had brothers and stuff. Into the window, there's these two guys. One which whom does not like the guy that I was talking to at the time, so I already knew that was about to be an issue. I get inside the window, and I literally just settle myself inside the room. I sit on the bed. This is the door. The bed's right here. She has like a little counter side right by the bed, right by the counter side by the window. And these boys are sitting on the corner of the bed over here, right by this closet. And she's sitting by the door. Okay, it's hella awkward. Like, I swear to God, it felt like, you know, when you come back into a conversation of what was being said, that's what it felt like was going on in that bitch. Well, after the ice breaks or everything and all like the weird vibes go away, they start like, oh, we should go downtown. Like, let's go downtown. Let's go downtown. The guy who doesn't like the guy that I'm talking to, he's like, oh, we could borrow a car. And I look at Jotita like, window. They went around, looked for the car. Boom, they got a car. They came back, pulled up on us. We hopped out her window. It was so hard, y'all. We had to like, she has to go flush the restroom as I hopped out, and then she came, hopped out, locked the door. Like, it was a whole process, but we got out and we're in the borrowed car now. We in this bitch and we going. I swear to God, one-way ticket straight downtown. On God. Running red lights. Like, I swear to God, we was going. So we get downtown and there's like a Denny's that like everybody usually park at. So we parked at that Denny's. Like, if you know, you know. It's like right on the corner. We get out the car. We're literally just walking around downtown. You know, we end up going to grab like just chill. That's overly going. They're like, oh, da-da-da, like, y'all being stupid, I don't even know. That was first red flag. Y'all don't even know what is there for us to know? Enlighten me. Do downtown, walk around, all that good stuff, and we going back to the Denny's to get the car. We're going back, and when we get back, we don't see no car. Around, we're looking all over, no car. I swear to God, y'all, like, we was looking for like a good hour, no car. And these boys is acting stupid. They're like, well, if the car's not there, it's obviously stolen. No shit, Sherlock. Don't worry about it. We got this partner downtown. Like, he could drive us all back. Like, we're good. I'll give him gas money. And we were just like, okay, like, bitch, no. So then we start walking. Like, we're dead ass, all of us just walking. 4 motherfuckers just walking in the middle of the motherfucking street going Lord knows where. We don't know. But bro's talking about it's his homie. He's calling this dude up, calling him. So then we get to this house. Okay, when we go into this house, let me build it for y'all. Long hallway. There's a room right here, no door. It's 2 curtains covered. That's someone's room. Go straight, another curtain to the living room. You look, hella rugs. You go more down the hallway, straight, restroom. Turn this way, the room of his brother. Partner. And I don't know if she knew at the time, so I definitely don't want to be like, yeah, fuck her. But if she did know, yeah, fuck you. So we go in and we go straight to the room with just the curtains, the first room to the right. When we go in to the little room, there's a girl on the bed. We're going to call her Dinosaur, and her boyfriend's right in front of the TV. Boyfriend don't. He ain't important. Dinosaur is. And I'm looking at my friend because we know Dinosaur from school, and she got issues with people that we're cool with, but we don't know if the issue extends to us. Do y'all want some shots? And we're like, yeah, like, for sure. And her mom comes from the living room, I'm guessing, and brings some little shots. She's looking at her boyfriend. She's like, nah, you're not taking no shot. Dinosaur and her boyfriend, like, right? They're arguing. They start arguing because he's like, yeah, I'm going to take a shot. You take a shot with your... Well, they get to start arguing, and out of nowhere, in the middle of the argument, boom, I get thrown into it. Whoa, keep me out of this. And she's like, nah, bitch, mine losing your likes on Instagram, Start arguing. I'm like, bro, get your friend. Like, this your man friend. Like, get your friend. These are your peoples. I don't even know this bitch. Like, tell this bitch to chill the fuck out. She start yelling. She's like, nah, fuck you, bitch. You're doing too much here in my house. I was like, bitch, I didn't ask to be here. Actually, I didn't even want to come here. I wanted to go home. So then the girl who was ever in the back room, which I'm guessing is the sister of Dinosaur, she comes out and she's like, what's the issue? Like, what are y'all hoes doing all barred out like a fucking bartard? Here, like, I need to chill out. Like, stop. Everybody stop the violence. Girl, shut the fuck up and go drink some motherfucking water and get the fuck up out my face. For real. Someone fucking you at night. Do you suck me? No. Him. Thank you. Get it up with that boy, not I. Leave me alone. Like, I literally came here just so that I could end up getting home. Bro said that he knew your partner. That's his partner. Yo. And she's like, nah, bitch, ain't nobody taking your house home. Your house better figure out how to get home, bitch. My man ain't taking you home. My man ain't taking you home. My man ain't taking you home. Fuck you and your man. I don't give a fuck if your man take me to the motherfucking cutter stuff, bitch. I don't care. Do you want to fight at this point or not? Her boyfriend started bear hugging the bitch and just walk her up out of there. Her mom and her dad started arguing with her in the living room. So she was just arguing with everybody. She was like, fuck this house, fuck everything. So I'm looking at Jotita like, bro, we gotta go. They're gonna give us a ride. I'm like, girl, no, like, we gotta go. And like, she was insist like, no, we don't gotta go. Like, we can stay. I'm like, bitch, I'm not staying here. You gonna come or I'm gonna go and you're gonna stay here. Whatever happens, happens. But that is my friend. So I'm not just gonna, you know what I'm saying? Leave her out here to motherfucker here trying to argue and fight with us for no reason. And not even fight with you. Fight with me. But then the older sister come in and she start going at my friend. Watch. Part 2. So then right when this bitch get close enough to my friend's face, I just sneak that hoe, cause get out, you're barred out, you doing too much, we trying to get home, we not even causing no issues. Boom, 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 boom. Dinosaur running the room, try to jump up on in that bitch. Bitch, fuck.
How fuck you.
Jotita, move back. This is the only reason I'm saying I don't know if she knew or if my friend getting jumped, babe, I'm swinging on everybody. Cameraman and all. I'm just hitting, anything, everybody, boom, 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 like this, boom, 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 like this. In the midst of us fighting, whenever the parents come, break it up, boom, I get my phone, my stuff, and but they didn't just kick me out. They kicked Jotita out too. So Jotita like, bro, like, what are you gonna do? Like, call these guys so that they can pick me up. Da, 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 da. I'm calling my mom. I'm like, Mom, can you come get me? Like, Mom. She's like, no. Like, you wanted to go. I told you have it right back. I'm just, oh my God. Like, I fucked myself over in this situation. Like, I'm irritated. I'm mad. This whole talk about she gonna call more people. Like, more people to pick us up. And we just got into the issue with the first people that you said was about to take us home. Boom. We're walking and these random truck pulls up on us. And she's like, come on, these are the people I called. I'm like, girl, I'm not getting in the car with no randoms. And you just almost in an issue with some randoms that were just about to take us home. Like, bro, what the fuck? No, bitch, I'm trying to go straight home. I don't want no sidetracks. No fucking. And the guy in the front seat, he kind of reaches his head out and he's like, nah, like, I'm gonna just take y'all home. And I was like,
nah, I'ma just walk.
Like 10-15 minutes straight, they're just following me. And I'm like, bro, just go. Like, I'm walking my house. You don't even live this way. Go to you. Like a good 20-30 minutes of just arguing with the bitch. They finally end up going their own separate way and I go my way. I get home. What we learned was, don't hang out with bitches you don't know. Hang out with people who want to make sure you get home, okay? And if your mama says don't be friends with that bitch, she know best.
Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you. Another one, thank you.
So I'm pretty sure my marriage is over. Like, relatively sure. I'd say 99.9% sure here. At what point did you know your marriage was over? Because I'm gonna tell you mine and why I feel like a complete fucking dumbass for letting things go this long. So, my husband has always had a problem with being addicted to his phone or his gaming system. And when I say addicted, I don't mean like he spends a little too much time. I mean he spends all his time on them. It's been a reoccurring issue between him, me, and our children. We're begging for attention from him, and he is checked out. So, earlier this week, I was at work and I went in with a sore throat and I thought that I just had whatever my kids had just recently gotten over. About halfway through my 12-hour shift, I collapsed and coded at work. Luckily, I work at a hospital. They couldn't get in touch with him. I understand it was late. But his phone should have been up with his volume on, and instead it was in Do Not Disturb. And it took until 2 o'clock in the morning, so about 2 hours, for the hospital to get in touch with him. And it's being explained to him what happened, and I'm like sitting there, he's on speaker, we're telling him what happened and everything and what's going on, and they're trying to explain that, you know, I'm like, they're trying to work and with me, and everything. And he goes, okay, well, just let me know when you're coming home and I'll unlock the door. And he hung up. Not, am I doing okay? Not, oh my God, I need to get to the hospital. Nothing. Let me know when you're coming home and I will unlock the door. Okay? So, a little while later, when I am more stable, I call him and I explain to him that you don't get to just come home after an event like that. I'm getting admitted because they didn't know why it happened. And you don't just get to come home after that. He tells me okay. He doesn't ask if I need anything. He still doesn't ask if I'm okay. Nothing. That was it. Just okay. Because he was playing the Xbox when I called. So, a little while later, my sister and my mom and my grandma are trying to get in touch with him. And he won't answer the phone. Finally, he does answer the phone for my grandma. And my sister grabs it from her, and she's offering to pay for an Uber to get him and my kids to the hospital, because we only have one vehicle. He tells her no. Okay, nope. And my sister then proceeds to freak, because she's like, she's up there all the fuck alone, fighting for her fucking life, and what do you mean no? He's good. Okay. They do finally come up. They were up there for about 20 minutes. His brother brought him. And they were up there for about 20 minutes. And during that time, my daughter proceeds to tell me that she was informed what happened to me when she came downstairs from waking up that morning, and her dad was on the Xbox. He told his friends, hold on guys, I need to tell my daughter something, took his headphones off, proceeded to tell her, put his headphones back on, and went right back to fucking playing the Xbox. He told my son right before they came to the hospital. My 13-year-old son, that's when he told him. The entire duration of my hospital stay, he texted me 3 times. Total of 3 times. That was it. The 2 times I called him, he was on the Xbox. And we were on the phone for maybe 2 minutes. I'm trying my best not to break down so that you guys can understand me. When I finally got discharged and got home, my daughter and son informed me that he was on the Xbox the entire time. The entire time. So I am like, so I'm not even more important than an Xbox. That's where we stand. I'm not as important as your Xbox. And he tells me that, well, what was he supposed to do? Stare at a wall all day? He couldn't console his children. He couldn't spend time with his children. He needed to play on the Xbox. And he obviously wasn't too fucking concerned if he could sit there and play a fucking video game and chit-chat with his fucking friends on the fucking Xbox, right? Like, you're not that fucking concerned. And he goes, yeah, well, if the roles were reversed, you wouldn't have even been up there. I was like, I would have been up there with your children. I would have been calling your parents, your grandparents, your family, my family, everyone. Nope. No. He couldn't even be bothered to call his mom. His mom didn't know. When he got to the hospital, I said, you tell your mom? And he said, oh, I figured you'd do it. I was supposed to, while I've been there fighting for my life, call his mom and let her know. Because he couldn't be bothered. Because again, I'm not important to him. I'm not important to him at all. And so he's telling me I'm overreacting, I'm tripping. Oh my God, that was his way of decompressing and coping. And so I said, no, Jared, because your actions don't match your words. People who are worried about someone cannot sit there and play on that fucking Xbox. And I say to him, okay, if I'm so important to you, prove it. Prove it to me. Stay off that Xbox for 2 months. Completely, 100%. Unplug it, put it up, put it out of sight. 2 months. He tells me no. 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 That he shouldn't have to give up his whole life. That's what he called it, his whole life. Just to prove he cares about me. He couldn't even fucking call and check on me while I'm sitting there septic in my hospital from a fucking UTI I didn't even know I had because I had no fucking symptoms. It got in my bloodstream and almost fucking killed me. Okay. Okay. I mean so much, Tim, right? I mean so much. I'm so fucking stupid. Why the fuck did I wait this long and stay in this shit? To the point I have a 2-year contract at work. If I leave, if I breach contract, it's $10,000. So I'm stuck here, isolated. I have no one around me for the next 2 years. So this moral of the story, don't be a fucking idiot like me. People show you how much you mean to them. And when they show you that, take that shit at face value. Do not keep giving them chance after chance after chance. They will not change. They're not going to do different. I don't give a fuck if they have PTSD like he does. I don't believe the way they treat you at face value because that is how the fuck they feel about you. Don't be a dumbass like me and waste literally half your fucking life on a marriage to someone who undervalues you so much that an Xbox fucking means more to them than you do.
My plan is that I will be pilot and I'll help everyone. Pilot.
Yeah, he's a pilot, great!
This is part 2. So, for everyone asking why I don't just leave, when I say I have no one, I have no one. My closest relative lives in Kentucky. I am in Northeast Ohio. Most of my family lives in South Carolina. And like I stated before, my name is the name on the lease. And I don't want to pack all mine and my kids' shit and move out and move into somewhere else for the next 2 years. His name's not on the lease. He has family. He can go. Also, to those of you saying just break the contract, so my contract states that if I breach contract and I do not stay employed, my contract was actually a 3-year contract, but I'm already a year down, that if I breach contract, then I owe $10,000 within 30 days of my last day. I don't have $10,000. And also, I don't want it to affect future job opportunities at other hospitals. And ultrasound is a very small community. Everybody knows everybody and people talk. and I don't want it to ruin my future opportunities. Also, I really like my employers. I like my job. I love the hospital I work for, and I love my coworkers and the people I work for, and I don't want to put them in a bind. I work weekend nights, and that is a very hard position to fill, and I do work at a level 1 trauma, and they have to have someone to fill that position. And I actually really enjoy my employer and my bosses and my coworkers. So I don't want to put them in a bind, just because my life is falling apart. Well, I can't even really say it's falling apart. I just didn't realize it had already fallen apart. And I was just scrambling to pick the pieces up and keep it glued together. Sorry, I'm trying not to, I could just have a breakdown on here. So that's the update. I don't know if that's the update you guys were looking for, but that is the update that I have right now. It's been just a lot of crying and a lot of like anger, because I'm upset, but I'm angry. I'm angry that this is where we're at. I'm angry that, you know, he's never gonna change. I think that's what I'm most angry about, is that my kids have to go through this. Oh. I don't even give a fuck about myself going through it, but I hate that they have to go through it, because I've been through it twice as a child, and it fucking sucks, right? It fucking sucks. Even though I know it's the right choice to make, and of that I'm positive, it still sucks to watch your kids have to go through that. Like, my son got angry earlier, and he kind of yelled at me a little bit, and I told him that he's valid to have his feelings, he's valid to be mad, but he's not valid to yell at me. Just because he's upset, I'm here to talk, and I will talk with him and help him, you know, work through these feelings. It's valid to feel angry. And it's valid to be scared, and I understand he just wants his dad and I to just make up and get along, but on some level I think he also understands that what happened was not okay, because I've watched him tell his dad what he did was not okay. So there's that. My daughter's just pissed at him, at my husband. So they're kind of on two different ends of the spectrum when it comes to how everyone is processing things in the house. I do think things would get better if he would leave, in terms of just the emotional instability. Sorry. Sorry guys, I promise I'm not trying to have a breakdown on here. In terms of the emotional instability in this house, I think it would, that it would get better, if he left. Anywho, I'm prepared that it's probably gonna get ugly. I was hoping that it could be somewhat amicable, for the sake of our children, but just a little bit that has already been said. When I told him I wanted him to get out, he immediately shifted all the blame to me, about how I'm a horrible wife, I don't treat him like a husband, I don't do wife things, that if I would just shut up and, you know, quit asking him to do things and quit nagging him, our life would be so great. Those kind of things. So, anywho, yeah. Any advice, guys, on laws in Ohio? What I can do to get him out? I mean, he's not aggressive and stuff, so I mean, it's not like it's a protection thing. It's, I mean, he can snap with the PTSD, but I don't think he will, just because usually it's triggered by other things. I just need to know what's the best way to get him to leave when he doesn't want to leave. And also, if anyone knows somewhere to find a reasonable, affordable car that doesn't require a lot of mechanical work up front, because obviously I'm going to have to save up for the car, and so I can't immediately have to spend thousands of dollars to fix the car. So if anyone knows of somewhere that I can find a somewhat affordable car, doesn't have to look great, I just need it to get us around, and be reliable, I would appreciate the info. And for those of you asking about a GoFundMe, I have never set one up. I will look into it, but I didn't make these videos to ask for money, so please don't think that. I just need a friend. I just needed someone to talk to. Anywho, yeah, any advice is appreciated, guys. Thanks.